Hello, friends of the Empty Cup podcast and Ronan JKD. I'm Ian, and I've done stuff on this channel for a long time, mostly related to martial arts stuff. But I haven't been here for a while, and mostly I've been pouring a lot of my work into my other channel, Retro Serial, which is all about growing up Generation X. If you want to see that, there's a link below. But occasionally what will happen is I'll do something on Retro Serial that I think will transfer well over to this platform too. And recently what I did was a 5 things you didn't know about Kung Fu. So the video that you're about to see was produced by Retro Serial, made for Retro Serial, and I just wanted to give you this brief introduction so when you're watching it, you're not thinking, hey, this is the Kung Fu show and you're watching Retro Serial. I thought I was watching Ronan JKD. So with that quick introduction, here's the video. If you like it, please go to Retro Serial and subscribe over there. 5 things you didn't know about Kung Fu, the series, next on Retro Serial. Hey everyone, you're watching Retro Serial and I'm Ian C. Kung Fu ran on ABC from 1972 to 1975 with an impressive 62 episodes and 3 seasons. Starring David Carradine as Kwai Chang Caine, it follows the adventures of Caine, who flees to America after killing the Emperor's nephew. Caine was an orphan, half Chinese and half American, reluctantly raised in the Shaolin Monastery. After his graduation from said monastery, Caine's beloved master Po is killed by the Emperor's nephew. Caine was a witness of this, and in a fit of rage, he avenges his beloved master's death. Caine has to flee, now being an outlaw. He flees to America to find his American brother. Each week, Caine meets unique and interesting people and finds Western challenges in which he handles all of them with some Eastern wisdom and some Kung Fu. When he has to. Only when he has to. And most of the time, he has to. While you may have already known all of this, here are 5 things about Kung Fu, the TV series, you may not have known. But before we get to those 5 things, if you like what we're doing here at Retro Serial, please give me that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, share this on your favorite social media. Those 3 things right there mean the world to us here at Retro Serial as we are trying to grow the channel. So if you could help us out in those areas, it would be much appreciated. If you want to go a step further, you can hit the bell notification that lets you know when these things are available so you don't miss a single episode. And if you want to follow the link below to our Patreon page, you can join for 2 levels of support. There is the Cornflake Club, which is just $3 a month, saying, hey, we like what you're doing over there. Here's a little tip for you to keep on keeping on. But if you want to be on the Insiders Club, join the Honeycomb Hideout, in which you will receive most all podcasts and most all videos 1 day in advance. And with all that said, let's get to our 5 facts. Coming in at number 5, David Carradine wanted to play Caine long before Kung Fu was a concept. Many years before Kung Fu, the television show, was a concept, David Carradine was asked what he thought a good idea for a television show would be. He said a great idea for a television show would be if he played Caine. Now, not Kwai Chang Caine, not that Caine, but Cain as in Cain and Abel from the Bible, as in Cain is who killed his brother Abel. He thought a good idea for a television show would be if Cain, after killing his brother Abel, had to be on the run and face many type of wilderness challenges. Pretty similar to the show Kung Fu. Was David Carradine a prophet? Well, I'll let you battle that out in the comment section below. And coming in at number 4, Carradine had no martial arts training. You might think that Carradine was chosen for his amazing kung fu skills. I mean, after all, the show is called Kung Fu and features him doing kung fu. But you would be wrong. Carradine was chosen because he was a dancer. A little inside fact, many fight choreographers don't like working with martial artists because martial artists tend to have their own ideas about how fights should look, and choreographers don't like to deal with that. They actually prefer to work with dancers because dancers look at it as a dance rather than what might actually transpire in a real fight. David Carradine did not start out a martial artist, but he certainly did end up being a martial artist. He was an avid practitioner of the martial arts since the show till the day he died in 2009. And coming in at number 3, spin-offs and sequels. Although Kung Fu, the TV series, ended in 1975, the story does not end there. Kung Fu has many spin-offs, sequels, and reboots. First, there was Kung Fu, the movie made for TV, released in 1989, and starred Brandon Lee as David Carradine's son. This was Brandon Lee's debut appearance, and it actually aired on Brandon Lee's 21st birthday. Ironically, Brandon Lee plays Kane's son, and that role of Twi-K Kane may have actually originally gone to Bruce Lee, but more on that in a moment. But interestingly enough, Brandon Lee does play the son of David Carradine. Next, there was Kung Fu, The Legend Continues, which ran from 1993 to 1997. Kane plays the great-grandson of Kane, and he comes over from the East to find his buddy cop son to fight modern crime. Yes, Kane still spits out that Eastern wisdom and still kicks a lot of Kung Fu butt. And now, today, in 2022, there is 2 seasons so far, just been greenlit for a second season of Kung Fu again, another remake of Kung Fu. This time it sees a female in the lead. How much can we go on and on and on? Should there be more? Do you like these reboots? Don't you like these reboots? There's just no amount to them. It was really a cultural icon and a classic. So when you have that and you have the opportunity to make money, you're always going to find a way to make that money again and try to make that magic happen again. I am interested in knowing if you watched any of these sequels or reboots, and if you like them or not. Let me know in the comments section below. And coming in at number 2, the real reason Kung Fu was canceled. Most television shows get canceled due to poor ratings. You might think that Kung Fu suffered the same fate, but that's not the case. Kung Fu actually had solid ratings. So why was this popular television show with solid ratings canceled? Well, quite simply, too many injuries. David Carradine said that he just suffered too many injuries, and he decided to not continue to play Kane any longer. The television executives did the right thing and brought the show to a close. They did not try to do the let's make more money thing and hire some type of Cousin Oliver trope, which I am thankful that they did. Did you know that? Did you think that, Kung Fu suffered like everybody else did, that it just had bad ratings and so they decided to cancel the show? I actually did think that until I started doing research for this video. And I have to say that I'm glad that they just ended the show. I couldn't really picture anybody else playing Kane except for David Carradine, or seeing the show go on without David Carradine. So good for them. They just shut the show down right where it needed to be, and they didn't do what so many other people try to do with that cash grab. Do you think they did the right thing? Let me know in the comments section below. And coming in at number 1, Bruce Lee and Kung Fu. Well, you knew this was coming. You just can't talk about Kung Fu without mentioning the oft-quoted story that Bruce Lee came up with Kung Fu and was going to star in the show, but those dirty, greedy, and racist TV executive stole the idea from him, putting Carradine in the lead because they wanted someone white. But this is really overstated. Yes, Lee tried out for the role of Kane and was turned down because they felt his accent was too thick and American audiences wouldn't understand it. And yes, Bruce Lee had a similar idea to do a show. His show was called The Warrior, but there were significant differences. For example, one was set in the modern era, Lee's modern era, and one is in the Wild West. But we could go on about the differences. The truth is that Ed Spielman, the creator of Kung Fu, insists that Kung Fu was his idea, and at one time was even considering suing the Lee estate for making such allegations, for making the allegations that he stole Kung Fu from Bruce Lee's The Warrior. Now, whether or not he's just coming back at this, hey, you can't accuse me, or whether or not the Lee estate is right, I guess we won't know, but I'm going to leave that for you to decide in the comments section below. I want to hear your opinion on whether or not you think Kung Fu was a ripoff of Bruce Lee, The Warrior. And if you like this video, please do me the honor of hitting the subscribe button, hitting the like button, and share it on your favorite social media. That means the world to us. There's simple steps for you, but it goes a long way to promoting this channel. If you want to hit the bell notification and let everybody know when these things are available, that's available to you as well. And please follow the link below to the Patreon page, and show us some monetary support if you are so inclined. But if you don't want to do that, that's fine. I get it. But the really important thing is, and it would really mean a lot to me, to subscribe, like, and share. That means the world to us here at Retro Serial. Thank you everyone for watching this episode of Retro Serial. I've been your host, ENC, and we will see you again. And until I see you again, stay retro, everyone.